We can begin, inshallah, and then people will just uh, join in bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Wassalatu wassalamu ala Sayyidil Mursaleen, Sayyidina Muhammadin bin Abdullah wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa sallam. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. In the name of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, most gracious, most merciful. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. Peace be upon all of you, inshallah. I'm very happy that we've had this opportunity to talk briefly about the Qur'an in this blessed month of the Qur'an, the month of Ramadan. I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that the month is filled with peace and mercy and love for all of us, inshaAllah ta'ala. And as we move from the first week to the second week and third and towards the middle and the end of the month, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala increase the lights, increase the openings, increase the mercy for everybody who is in this month and everybody who experiences this month, inshaAllah. And this month is supposed to be a month of mercy, and but it's also a month of manifestations of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And these manifestations can either be the manifestations of tranquility and beauty, or manifestations of majesty. And the response to both of these is necessary. The response to beauty is happiness and joy, and the response to majesty is fear and awe, and return to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And in the past few days, we've including today, we've had both of these manifestations. A few days ago, although it seemed initially to be a sad event, the passing of our dear brother, and not only in Islam but brother in humanity, our dear brother Muhammad Ali, may Allah have mercy on his soul. But that event immediately transformed into not really more than just a sad passing on, but a liberation of that great spirit from the body into something that's akin to the celebration, the ars, the wedding of a saint of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But today we've had a manifestation of majesty, and that is the senseless murder that has occurred in our land of Florida against human beings, regardless of their faith affiliation or way of life. The human life is sacred, and it was taken unjustly. It was taken mercilessly, and those souls that have been killed will have their say on the Day of Judgment in the court of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to grant patience and perseverance to the families of those who have been killed, and that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala descends His mercy and His light and Muhammadan beauty upon this land, everywhere, and everywhere on the face of the earth. And I think actually we can begin talking about the metaphysical reality of the Qur'an, which is the subject of this class, by growing somewhat from what we've just said about the different manifestations of Jamal and Jalal. What I would like to do in this first session is, before we delve into any kind of metaphysical tafsir of the Qur'an, to actually talk a little bit about what metaphysics is and where the Qur'an fits in this metaphysics. Because this topic of metaphysics, unfortunately, in recent times, maybe since the 1800s or so, has not been a topic of education in the curriculums of our Islamic educational institutions, be that the ribat or the masjid. And that is due to changes that have happened in human societies, not only in Islam, but outside of Islam, in the world in general, and something that has affected all religions. The topic of metaphysics. Metaphysics is two words. It's really a compounded word, composite term, of meta and physics. Physics we understand to refer to the physical world, right? So the material world, and that's why the discipline of physics today studies everything having to do with the material world. Meta means beyond. Means metaphysical, means beyond the physical. So it's the discipline that's concerned with that which is beyond the material, beyond the physical. It was the corner and the grand jewel of disciplines since the time of the ancient Greeks. And for them, metaphysics referred to the study of everything that is not physical, meaning abstract concepts such as happiness, such as joy, such as sadness, that would fall under the study of metaphysics. What is the reality of those concepts? But it also concerns studying things called divinity, which in Arabic is known as ilahiyat. And when Islam, when Muslim societies developed around the 9th century and the 10th century, everybody from Muslim philosophers to the awliya of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala discussed metaphysics in one way or another. And that discipline flourished to its maximum, flourished to its epitome in the writings of Mawlaya Sayyidi Shaykh al-Akbar Muhyiddin ibn al-Arabi, who was born around 1165 in Gregorian calendar, or about 560 in the Hijri calendar, and he passed away in 1238, or about 640 in the 638 in the Hijri calendar. And in Arabic, the study of metaphysics for the Sufis, for the people of tasawwuf, for the people of tahqiq, which means the word tahqiq means self-realization. It was never a purely philosophical discipline, in the sense that they didn't study metaphysics, they didn't study the spiritual world, they didn't study these metaphysical concepts just because as an intellectual conversation. They didn't just want to sit down, drink coffee, and think about metaphysics. What they were interested in, and that's why they called it tahqiq. Tahqiq means self-realization, which means that they understood that internalizing the realities of the spiritual world has very much to do with discovering your own self. Right? It has very much to do with who you are and developing your own inner reality. And this is rooted in the Qur'an, where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in Surah Fussilat, سَنُرِيهِمْ آيَاتِنَا فِي الْآفَاقِ وَفِي أَنفُسِهِمْ حَتَّى يَتَبَيَّنَ لَهُمْ أَنَّهُ الْحَقُّ. Surely we will show them our signs in the horizons and in their own selves until it is clear to them that it is the truth. And the word that is usually translated as "it is the truth" is أَنَّهُ. But أَنَّهُ can be interpreted in multiple ways. أَنَّهُ can mean to refer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala until it is clear to them that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the truth. Or it can refer to the Qur'an, that the Qur'an is the truth. Or it can refer to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. The Prophet